From the historic capital of open-wheel racing, Indianapolis, Indiana, it's USAC Unleashed. And now, stumping the loud pedal, ripping the lip, and letting her eat, here are your hosts, Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Hey, USAC Racing Nation! Here we are, Dirty Dan Smith, the Photo Man, Rich Foreman, and a special guest in the studio this week. I'll get back to you in a minute, Foreman. We got beautiful women in the studio this week.
Hey.
Hey, Miss Taylor, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. It's my Dirt 101 lesson.
There you go. Photo Man's going to be madder than hell at me, and he's probably going to hang up on us.
Well, I come first. Sorry.
Oh, Photo Man, I'm going to stop right there and turn it over to you, brother.
Yeah, you better turn it over to me, or I am about ready to hit the hang up button. But everything's good here, ready to get this show going.
Oh, we're definitely going to get this show going, man. This is something, it's going to be pretty cool this week, man. Winners across the board, Photo Man.
Yeah, we got a pretty stacked show tonight. I mean, 3 different winners on the show. That's pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool, man. You had an interesting weekend this weekend. You was out at last weekend in Nebraska with the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Series. Seen a couple tracks, man, but you done some pretty cool stuff separate from the races. You want to tell us a little bit about that real quick, man?
Yeah, it was a pretty fun weekend this weekend with the USAC guys. We headed out there on Thursday and took in a KC Royals game with the whole gang, and then went over to Eagle, great racetrack, great racing, and then Saturday went over and checked out the Speedy Build Museum over there by Speedway Motors, and that place is just amazing. There's so much stuff there that really we didn't even spend enough time, and I don't think you could.
You know, I remember talking to you that day, and you was telling me everything that was there, and I was so mad at you, but I had so much respect for you because you didn't take your camera in the place. You just went in as a fan and tried to absorb as much as you could in the short time frame you was in there. But there was some really cool stuff in there that you were telling me about that was found in a storage locker. Tell the fans out there and tell the listeners a little bit about what you seen.
Yeah, I mean, Speedy Build has a ton of stuff in there, everything from the Offie motors to, sprint cars, midgets, Duesenbergs, and the third floor is nothing but toys. But they had a lot of cool Opperman stuff in there. Had his old wallet and driver's license and stuff that they had found. And there's just so much stuff in there and so much history. It was unbelievable.
I don't know about you. You and I talk about the history of all kinds of sports, really. I mean, we stick with the sprint cars, but we talk about other things, racing and things like that. But objects like that, like you were saying with the Opperman stuff that was found in the storage, the wallet and the checkbook and things like that, that's some pretty cool stuff to me, isn't it to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's that everyday off the wall stuff that we don't think about. I think we think of race cars and trophies and helmets and whatnot, and it's kind of cool to see, stuff from back in the day that he used in everyday life.
I agree, man. I know you and I have talked about we're going to make a special trip out there sometime, maybe in the off season or whatever, and check this place out for a full day. And I can't wait to do that. But right now, we got it like we was talking about. We got an awesome show lined up. We have winners across the board, man. We got KT Jr. with us. We got the Throttle Shane Cottle, and we'll be talking to 100% Hunter Schuerenberg. I'm not sure how we're supposed to say that. We're going to have to check in with him about that. But at any rate, man, real quick, I just want to throw out there your top 10 in the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Series after last weekend is Brady Bacon, Brian Clausen, Dave Darlin, Tracy Hines, Justin Grant, Chase Stockin, John Stambro, Hunter Schuerenberg, Chris Wyndham, and C.J. Leary round out. That's your top 10. And, man, I think we need to get the show on the road, Photo Man.
Yep, time to hit some commercial breaks.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's come back with some more USAC Unleashed Radio right here on the Performance Motorsports Network right after these messages.
Waka Racing Promotions is a public relations team determined to grow and expand your name in the world of racing while guiding your image and car to the top. We use multiple different techniques from press releases, social media pages, and websites to boom your team or company ahead of the rest. Whether it be your normal race team wanting a sponsorship proposal or a full-blown touring series needing PR help, Walker Racing Promotions can cover it all. Head to WalkerRacingPromotion.com to learn more on how you can expand your PR program with Walker Racing Promotions.
Hey racers, you know the amount of time and effort you put in at the shop getting your bullet ready to do battle is huge. Shouldn't the way you look when you climb out of that sick-looking ride in Victory Lane be just as important? Well, hell yeah, it should. Turn Noah's Shell Shock Custom Helmet Painting loose on a custom lid designed just for you. Join the Shell Shock list of racers like Ryan Briscoe, Joey Saldana, Christopher Bell, Matt Crafton, Bud Kading, Dominic Selzy, Kenny Rutz, Spud Allen, Joey Coulter, and many, many more. Go to www.shellshockpaint.com or give them a call at 704-929-8545 and join the Shell Shock list of champions today. Follow Shell Shock on Twitter at Shell Shock Co. and be sure to check out the full Shell Shock gallery on Facebook at Shell Shock. And remember, only the best wear the SS.
I'm pretty good drinking beer.
And now, back to the guys who think having a six-pack means you have just enough beer for hot laps. Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
That's not even enough beer to wet your whistle, is it, Photo Man?
It might not be for you, but it'd probably be all right for me. I don't partake very much anymore.
Well, we'll have to head over there to the Infinity Shot Garage and your dad, Skip Foreman, man, and ask him that same question. But at any rate, man, we got our first guest on the line with us, and he was the winner down at Lawrenceburg Speedway this past weekend, Mr. Kevin Thomas Jr. How you doing tonight, KT?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
I'm doing all right, man, doing all right. You spending that money yet, or is it gone, or are you saving it, brother?
Oh, I'm going to save it. You know me. I'm tightwad, that's for sure.
I'm going to have to come take that from you on the golf course, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
There you go, man. All right, let's back it up a little bit. I don't think there's anybody out there that don't know who KT Jr. is, but tell us where you're from, KT.
Well, I'm from Coleman, Alabama. I was born and raised there, and then decided to make the trip up after I graduated high school, and now I'm a resident of Indianapolis as of last week. Finally went to the DMV and got my license.
Oh, there you go, man. Now you're a Hoosier. You know, that whole Alabama helmet and roll tide and all that, you know that don't go over well with me, right?
Oh, I know.
At any rate, man, tell me about a little bit about your history, KT. When did you start racing, and what kind of vehicles did you start racing, man?
Well, first of all, I raced mini sprints whenever I was like 15 or so. My dad always raced mini sprints down there in Alabama, and I just hopped in there. I don't know. I'll probably race like 12 races, and then we decided we were going to get a sprint car, and I started racing sprint cars when I was 17, and then we just kind of went from there. I guess I was 16. I lied. I was 16, and then been racing ever since 2007 in a sprint car, and then here we are. We haven't really raced anything other than that. I didn't have a whole lot of experience jumping into it, so it took a while. The learning experience was quite a long time. It took me a while to win a race, but I think we're doing all right now, and we're just going from there.
I think you are, man. You know, I guess we can go ahead and get into that. You know, you've kind of switched teams at the beginning of the season here. You've got a new team that you're I think 5 races into with now. Tell us a little bit about that and some of the transitions you've had to make. And I mean, you guys have had some success here pretty early with this new team.
Yeah, man, it's a blast, and I do like on my own team. I just it gives me something to do during the week instead of go spend my money on golf. But it's fun. I'm working with David Jones. He's my crew chief, and we get along really great. Obviously, we split up with Michael Dutcher. We just didn't quite see eye to eye on a few things, and then other than that, it was all good. I'm enjoying running for myself again, and we had a little bit of a success. We won at Lawrenceburg. That was our first win, our 4th race in, and then we ran 4th and 6th over the other 2 races this weekend at Kokomo and in Bloomington. So we're rolling right along. We got a little bit of work to do. When the USAC guys show up in the town and we got to start running with them, we're going to have to step our game up quite a bit. But I think we'll get it all worked out. Like you said, it's a new team, so we'll see what we can do and try to get faster and faster each night.
Now, I have to ask you, man, there was a lot of stuff on the social media pages about you standing there in a crown and the royal red velvet king's robe. Tell me a little bit about that, man. Have you had some explaining to do over that?
Well, actually, I had no idea it was even going to happen. I didn't know. Well, one, I didn't know I was going to win, but I was down there, and then they brought that thing around me, and I guess it was the King of the Midwest race, and I didn't know. I didn't pay attention. I just liked Lawrenceburg and seen it pay pretty decent, so we went on down there and ended up winning. And they threw that thing on me, and I had no idea it was coming. It kind of caught me off guard too.
Now, KT, you picked up a win at Lawrenceburg, and like you said, you like Lawrenceburg pretty well. You won a bunch of races there. What is it about Lawrenceburg that you like?
Well, one, I like pretty fast joints, and I've always kind of got around Lawrenceburg fairly decent. Even back when it was just me and my dad racing, we won a few USAC heat races. I mean, it doesn't sound like much nowadays, but I mean, for us back in the day, that was pretty good for us to win some heat races and whatnot. I really don't know what it is about that place. I just like it. I understand it. I guess that's one key that you have to get around a racetrack. You got to understand how to make speed out of the track and out of your race car. So I just understood it right from the get-go, and we've had some good luck last year and starting off this year with the new team. We're rolling right along there.
Now, you mentioned you got Davy Jones wrenching on the thing. Is it taking you some time? Obviously, it didn't take that much time to get used to each other because you cranked off a win, but are you guys still having to try to learn each other out here a little bit?
Yeah, it's just we got a lot of communication and things that we got to work out, but I mean, that's just happens with any crew chief. There's different ways that you talk to one. I was with Dutch for a year and a quarter or whatever, and you talk to him a lot different than I would talk to Davey. There's different ways to go about it, and it's just a communication deal right there at the beginning, and we got to learn each other. I like cars a certain way, Davey set them up a certain way, but they are actually very similar to the way we like them. So, I mean, I think it's going to work out great. We just got a few tweaking issues that we got to handle when it comes to feature time. We got to get just a little bit tighter and go from there, but that's also, we have a new tire that we have to run, and for all the things that used to do with, say, the DT3, you don't necessarily do with this new tire. And it's taken us a little bit of learning, but I'm glad we're doing it now and during these local shows, so whenever sprint week comes and we go out to Pennsylvania and places like that we're on top of our game and we're not out there humping a football like a bunch of monkeys.
Well, I tell you what, if it takes you guys, some time to get things figured out, you guys are already hitting it off pretty good. It could be a pretty deadly combination. Now, you're also running some midgets this year. Let's talk about your midget plans. We got some midget races coming up this weekend, and let's tell everybody about your midget racing this year.
Midgets racing, I'm going to run for Kenny Brown. It was somewhat of a last-minute deal. I kind of called him and wanted to put together something, and he thought it would be a good fit, so I'm going to run for him. I'm going to run as much USAC/Power whenever they are, I guess, co-sanctioned. We're going to run all of those, and we're going to go out west. I'm actually going to take the car myself, most likely out to like Turkey Night and Canyon out there when they race that Western World. So I got quite a few midget races, and I think it's somewhere around 25 or so. So we went pretty good at Kokomo in his car and had 2 6th-place finishes, was actually leading and had a tire go flat, and Chris Bell and a few others got around us and had to come from the back. But it's a blast running for him. It's somewhat similar to running for myself and Davey. The communication is almost the same. They kind of ask you what you like and what you want the car to be like, and it's a real confidence booster whenever somebody's asking you the way you want the car to feel. So I like running for them, and hopefully that lasts a pretty good while.
Yeah, and now, the midgets, it's kind of something somewhat new for you here. You've run the Chili Bowl and stuff like that and whatnot, but you're going pretty good in them so far now. Is the midgets something, the new challenge? Is it something just kind of cool to go do? What's your take on the midgets?
Oh, man, I love racing midgets. To be honest, I wish I could race a midget every night that I race a sprint car. They're a blast to run, and I actually think I learned how to drive a midget a lot faster than I guess I learned how to drive a sprint car. But I kind of drive pretty straight in the midget, and I guess that does help with the momentum deal. I don't have a lot of power, so I kind of took to a midget a little bit faster than I did a sprint car. So I feel like we can maybe win a few races this year in a midget. That's my goal. So we'll just go from there, and I think we're very capable of doing that.
Oh, you guys are definitely capable of doing that. And KT, you're already off to a good start and definitely got a good chance to pick off a bunch this year. For all the people out there, what's the websites and stuff like that to get a hold of you?
Well, all I have is just my Twitter, and I have a Facebook, but I actually don't run it. My girlfriend Whitney Fowler runs. I'm not very computer literate, so you can catch me on my Twitter at Kevin Thomas Jr. and you can follow updates at KT Motorsports. And the Facebook, I have no idea. I don't even do it.
I'm sure everybody out there, look KT up, check him out. KT, who's some of your sponsors that help make things happen for you out there, man?
Definitely got to thank Blackjack Oil Company, KT Construction Services, Bach and Concrete. They're out of New York. And then you got Indy Metal Finishings, who's out of Indianapolis right here. And you got Butler Built, Henchman, Lucas Oil, and High Side Designs, which is Tim Cruz. He works for Arizona Sports Shirt. He does my graphics. And I got a lot of little people that help out. I'll probably forget a bunch of them, but there's a bunch of people that pitched in and helped us get this deal going. It was a short notice, that's for sure, and it was kind of spur of the moment, but people really stepped up, and I appreciate every one of them.
Well, and we definitely appreciate, you getting back out there and getting running. You're always fun to watch, always on the hammer. Make sure everybody goes out, checks him out, go buy a T-shirt, help this kid out, let's keep him going. KT, we look forward to seeing you at the racetrack, buddy.
Yes, sir. I look forward to seeing y'all, too, and thanks for having me on.
Yep, and we'll be right back after these messages on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Hey racers, are you looking for an edge in your training program to put you over the top? Well, check out Racer's Edge Supplements. Racer's Edge Supplements are the best racing supplements in the business. Whether you need more energy to get you through your day, better concentration, or a weight loss supplement that will help you get lighter and go faster, Racer's Edge Supplements is what you need. With 9 products currently available and more on the way, Racer's Edge Supplements will be all you need to get you through your season. Visit us online at racersedgesupplements.com. That's racersedgesupplements.com. Racer's Edge Supplements, the edge you need to get you to victory lane. Hey racers, are you struggling with your shock package in your quarter midget, micro, midget, sprint, or super modified? Then check out Infinity Shock. Infinity Shocks has the latest available technology and is ahead of the market today with their Infinitune isolation piston. Give Infinity Shocks a call today at 765-865-1073 and tell AJ that you want to join racers like Shane Cottle, Frank Flood, Steven Shabester, Robert Ballou, Shane Cochran, and Thomas Meserole in Victory Lane. Infinity Shocks, home of 300-plus A-Main wins in 2013, including 3 Golden Drillers from the Tulsa Shootout, the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial, and the Oklahoma Micro Nationals, just to name a few. For personalized tech service, give AJ a call at Infinity Shocks at 765-865-1073. Don't be like the competition, be the competition. Infinity Shocks.
And now, back to the guys that think a good way to impress the ladies is packing the left front on the pace lap. It's Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Hey, man, that was a good commercial leading into this next guest, wasn't it, Photo Man?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. All right, let's just go ahead and get talking to him. We have the cat that has, this gasser has the best average over this last weekend of racing, finishing positions, 2 wins and a second. The Throttle, Shane Cottle. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Did you get a chance to slam them beers?
Oh, yeah, we sure did.
There you go, man. All right, let's talk about it, brother. 2 wins and a second place finish this weekend, man. I'm dumbfounded. I'm what's that new term they're throwing around, buddy? Mind-boggling or whatever. Tell us about it, brother.
Oh yeah, we had a really good weekend this weekend. It was it's one of them. If you could do it every weekend, it'd be awesome. But it's just really, really tough out there. But we started out with a win at Bloomington, and thought we was going to get one at Lawrenceburg Saturday. But we showed KT the line there, and on a late race yellow, and he took my line away from me and never could get past him. But then we went on to Kokomo and, lucked into one there with Brian and Clayton getting together, and we was in the right place at the right time.
Now, let's talk about that Bloomington race a little bit. I happened to be there and got to see you run that, and that was a damn good race that you was putting on with Brady Short there in the last couple laps, especially that last lap, man. Why don't you walk us through that race a little bit, man? Because, that was just a damn good race for you.
Yeah, we started, I think we started 8th, and we just, waited for people to slip up and get underneath them, and the track was right around the bottom, and I finally got up to 2nd, and I was behind Dalton Gabbard. And, I was just kind of biding my time, waiting for him to see if he made a mistake. And we had a caution there late in the race, in that race also. And we on the restart we took off, and he kind of made a mistake. And by that time, I was getting ready to go around him, and Brady had got on the outside of me, so I was kind of pinched in there. So me and him were giving slide jobs back and forth and banging wheels, and then he finally slipped up one time getting into turn 1. I got underneath him, and we put it in victory lane.
Now, do you ever go back on like jackslash.com or anything like that and watch some of these races, Shane?
I try to, but I have so many different passwords, I can never remember my password for that. So I need to call and ask him what the password is.
That doesn't surprise me with you, brother. But anyway, man, I'm telling you, if you can remember your passwords, you need to go watch that race, man. That was a damn good race. It was pretty cool to watch. You guys was throwing sliders, and there at one point you guys were 3 wide for the lead. You, Gabbard and Short. It was just a really good race. Tell me a little bit, what do you think about the new Bloomington Speedway, the turns and the way they've tightened the straightaways back up again? Is there a real difference there?
Well, to tell you the truth, I never noticed anything different about it. So it's still the same Bloomington. Me and Brady talked about it, and we wonder if they did anything to it. So, it's all the same to me.
Well, that's a damn good thing when they make changes like that, and you racers and you drivers, you guys don't notice them, and things like that. But all right, man, tell us a little bit about what you do in your off time, man. You're racing so much, but I know you got a business that you run. Tell us a little bit about that, Shane.
Yeah, I got my own flooring business. I install, ceramic and hardwoods and vinyls and, just everything that we can do. And we're in the process of getting some carpet now. So it's nonstop with me.
And now, Shane, you're definitely from the Kokomo area, so obviously picking up wins at Gas City and Kokomo definitely got to be extra special for you. Able to pick up the win at Gas City on opening night. Probably should have had one at the USAC race and pick up the Kokomo race. How good is it to win close to home?
Oh, it's great to win it close to home, especially at Kokomo. It's so tough to win there anyway. It's like running a USAC race there every time you go there, and it's real special to win there. And Gas City, you got good cars there too, and it's a great track, and it's just it's good stuff.
And you definitely been on fire. I was talking to Kirk Spurgeon earlier the other day, and we're just everybody's in awe of how well you guys have been able to take off, and you've been able to pick up wins and everything like that. What's the difference this year?
The only thing we're doing different was our we picked up another guy to help us, Jim Foreman, and he's I think we found something that I like, and what he does to the car, and it's just been working.
Yeah, Spridge and I were talking that in particular. You two have definitely seemed to kind of caught on to something here, and the farther this thing goes, you definitely could be a deadly combination in the future. And speaking of the future, what's the future as far as the race schedule here for you?
I know what we're doing this weekend, but after that, it's up in the air until that week. But we're going to run Gas City Friday, and not sure about Saturday, but Sunday will be at Kokomo.
Man, I tell you what, always look forward to seeing you at Gas City and at Kokomo. Usually working the low line. We were talking earlier about Gas City for the USAC race, and I was actually talking to Tracy this last weekend, and was kind of amazed that you didn't go down there and take that away from him. You and Tracy got a pretty good battle back and forth, I think, all the time. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, me and Tracy always dig at each other. You know, it's we're always fighting for the bottom or something like that, and he'll pass me, and I'll go to the top or something, and he'll ask me how come I didn't stay on the bottom and this, that, and the other. But you know, he knew that if he showed his hands or his cars too quick, that I was going to block him. But he just made the pass, and I never could get in front of him. So yeah, it was kind of a bad deal. I never could get down to the bottom and get that win, but that's racing.
Yeah, and sometimes, like you said, you can't show your hand too quick, and definitely sometimes got to make that pass as fast as you can. Shane, let's talk about the 2 cars you're running this year and who helps all them out, the sponsors on those cars.
Yeah, we're running the 2E Epperson car with Epperson Painting and Butler Built Seats, Simpson, Hoosier, Indy Race Parts. There's so many of them on there, but and then the other Ellison car is, I think Bill Ellison's the only sponsor on there. So if anybody's out there wanting to sponsor something, he's probably willing to take a handout if anybody was interested. So
yeah, and that, anybody that wants to get on and help Bill out or help Shane out, definitely get a hold of Shane. You can get a hold of me, get a hold of my brother. Shane, it's always fun having you on, man. Definitely kicking everybody's butt so far this year, and hopefully that keeps up for you, and we look forward to seeing you at the racetrack soon.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, that was Shane Cottle, and we'll be back right after these messages.
6B Apparel gives you the winning look. At 6B Apparel, our award-winning design team gives your team style on or off the track. It's not too late to call 6B Apparel now. You could be the best-dressed crew at your next race or trade show. And for you smaller teams, 6B Apparel has no minimum on orders, so you can get the same look the big teams like Feld Motorsports, Lucas Oil Products, and more do at a great price. Call 6B Apparel now at 702-587-3313. That's 702-587-3313. Or log on to 6bapparel.com.
Hey racers, are you struggling with your shock package in your quarter midget, micro, midget, sprint, or super modified? Then check out Infinity Shock. Infinity Shocks has the latest available technology and is ahead of the market today with their Infinitune isolation piston. Give Infinity Shocks a call today at 765-865-1073 and tell AJ that you want to join racers like Shane Cottle, Frank Flood, Steven Shabester, Robert Ballou, Shane Cochran, and Thomas Mesrell in Victory Lane. Infinity Shocks, home of 300-plus A-Main wins in 2013, including 3 Golden Drillers from the Tulsa Shootout, the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial, and the Oklahoma Micro Nationals, just to name a few. For personalized tech service, give AJ a call at Infinity Shocks at 765-865-1073. Don't be like the competition. Be the competition. Infinity Shocks.
And now, back to the guy that thinks he's a one-man snake pit, Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Man, I'll tell you what, with that whole snake pit in the month of May, I'm ready, Photo Man. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. Snake pit definitely leads into some Dirty
Definitely,
Dan down to dirt. Yeah.
Hey, are you watching your steps, man?
Oh, man, I tell you.
There you go. All right, man. Here we are. We're with our 3rd interview of the night, and this guy picks up a huge win for him. I know it was out at McCool Junction in Nebraska. Mr. Hunter Schuerenberg. How you doing tonight, brother?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Let's back up a little bit here and tell those that don't know who you are, where you're from, and what you're all about, brother.
I'm just a kid from Southeast Missouri. Moved up here to race sprint cars when I was 16. It was 2006 was my first year up here, and just been trying to make a go of it ever since. You know, racing's full of ups and downs and peaks and valleys. Times you're on top, times you want to quit. And, just to manage to stick around this long, and hopefully I'm still doing it years from now.
I think there's going to be no problem with you doing it years from now. We're going to talk about some of them struggles here in a few, but you're from a part of Missouri that there's another racer here in Indiana from, out there in Sikeston, Missouri, the modern-day cowboy, Darren Clayton. Did you guys know each other before coming to Indiana?
Yeah.
Or is there any history there?
Yeah, actually, we ran go-karts together, micro sprints together. my dad and his dad worked together. You know, we didn't live very far apart, so knew the whole Clayton family pretty well, and got to race with them quite a bit even before sprint car racing. So it's kind of a rarity that you have sprint car guys down there. I mean, you know, myself and Darren and another guy, Jared Hull, races a lot of wing stuff. He's from Sykeston, but you know, most of the stuff down there is primarily stock car stuff.
Gotcha. What drew you to the sprint cars, Hunter?
You know, my dad was really good friends with a sprint car racer named Lee Dunn, and Lee Dunn did a lot of wing sprint car stuff too, and so my dad was just kind of around it through traveling with him, and you know, they go run the Knoxville Nationals every year, and we had one local sprint car track in Benton, Missouri, about 20 miles north of where I live, and you know, occasionally we would go there and watch, and I don't know, for some reason it just kind of drew me to sprint car racing, and I never really took a second look at anything to do with stock car racing, even though my dad did do it for a little while. My dad ran IMCA Modifieds for 1 year before I actually started racing, and he quit to help me, but that's just kind of the path that we chose to take for some reason.
Now, you mentioned some wing stuff there a couple times. Was there any pressure or desires to go wing racing coming from that area, or did you always know that you wanted to go non-wing with USAC?
No, you know, I started in a wing sprint car at 14, and I did that for 2 years. I raced a lot with ASCS and USCS, and ran locally at Memphis and Little Rock, and I always, you know, my heroes growing up were wing sprint car drivers. You know, I watched Steve Kinder and Sammy Swindell, fought a lot of them, and you know, for me, it didn't really matter. I loved sprint car racing, and you know, at the time when I was 15, there were some guys that just wanted to see me come up here and try to do the USAC stuff. You know, USAC was a pretty big farm ground back then for kids going stock car racing and in the bigger leagues of stock car racing, and so there were some people that just wanted to see if I could come up here and win races like we were doing with the Wing 360 stuff. So we decided we'd try it for a year, and one thing just kind of led to another, and you know, I got an offer to drive Roger Tappy's car the year after I drove for my dad, and it just kind of stuck. You know, I've been up here ever since. But you know, I still wouldn't mind going back to doing some wing sprint car stuff too. You know, I'd really like to be able to enjoy doing both and be competitive in both. You know, but for now, our main focus is the USAC stuff, and you know, maybe an opportunity will come up to do some wing stuff. Maybe it won't, but we'll just have to see.
it's you know, there's just so much money involved these days to be able to go back and forth. And speaking of that, you go out to Nebraska and you pick up a new sponsor out there. Tell us a little bit about that sponsor that you picked up out there.
Yeah, we weren't even planning on going to Nebraska, not till probably a month ago, and just I got in touch with Steve Moses. He owns Moses Motor Company out there in Nebraska, and he's just a huge open wheel fan. Loves sprint car racing, and you know, I basically explained to him my situation. You know, hey, we're not going to be able to do this trip unless we get sponsorship to do it. He was able to step up and, you know, at least help me enough to get me out there and keep my points deal alive, and you know, it's just a really cool deal to be a part of something like that with Steve Moses. You know, he's a really good guy, and everybody at his dealership was overly friendly. We worked there in between nights and maintenance the car and everything, and then just to get a win at McCool, you know, 10 minutes from his car dealership with his name on it. That was all just really neat. It doesn't really happen that way very often, but I'm really happy that it did, and I think he was too. So it's all around just a just a good deal. It's fun for both of us, and I think he's one of those guys that's pretty valuable to USAC sprint car racing, because that's how a lot of us do it now. We're kind of, all of our stuff is pending on a lot of these sponsors that are around just because they like what we do. Sometimes they may not get a whole lot of marketing exposure out of it or anything. They're just doing it because they like to get back to the sport that they love so much. And I think Steve Moses and his dealership it just kind of falls into that category.
Yeah, now, Hunter, out there at McCool, you had such a great run. The car really looked really fast. You picked up career win number 8, and you talked about the struggles. You had a great year in 2011, 4th in points, kind of struggled. How gratifying was it to finally get that win at McCool Junction?
It was overly gratifying. People ask people all the time, well, what does it feel like? And, well, what do you think about all this, or what's going on in your head? And everybody can always give the same answer. Oh, it feels really good and it's great. But for me, man, it was just something that really kind of gave myself an answer that, okay, I still do belong here. Because I tell you, there for a little while last year when things got tough and the ride I had fell apart and just kind of in and out of whatever I could get in to finish the season out, and wadded up a couple cars and got what I thought was going to be a really good opportunity with Levi Jones to run Jack Rogers' car, and just so excited about it. And then went to Oskaloosa, and I tried to give his race car a haircut going into turn 1 with the guardrail, and it's just like every time something good would start to happen, I would just get knocked back down to my knees again, and I really started to question, okay, what's going on here? Am I done? Am I ever gonna recover from this? And I think I finally just got to a point where I was so close to being done. I was just desperate to not want to feel that way anymore, to kind of try to dig myself out of that hole, and to finally win another USAC race was just kind of was that final little push I needed to get myself back up out of that hole. And everybody always says the first one is the hardest one to get when you go through a drought, or you're a rookie that's never won one. It seems like after that first one, the rest of them come really easy, because the confidence goes along with it, the motivation goes along with it. So hopefully from here on out, we get a lot more, and I'm really just pushing to not get down that far again. I want to get on top and try to stay there as long as I can.
Yeah, and when it is hard when you're going through a slump and everything's not kind of going your way, who are some of those people that kind of stand behind you, Hunter, and kept telling pushing you in the right direction and kept motivating you along? There's got to be some people behind you helping you out, keeping you going in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, my family, for one, is huge. My wife and my wife Jessica, and my dad and my mom. And even my wife Jessica's family. They're a racing family, and just all those people, and your friends too, your close friends that are there whether you're winning or losing. Those are kind of the people that push you to keep going. But then I've also had a lot of people that actually support me in racing, that have stuck behind me too. Gene Frankowiak is the guy that's been with me for 4 years now, and I mean, he could have very, very easily just said, I'm going to go with somebody else. You're not performing anymore, or you're not producing, and he could have taken his sponsorship elsewhere pretty easily, but chose to stick with me and go through the good times and the bad times, and and also Mark Smith with Mothman Chassis. Mark has kind of been with me for a while now, developing a car, and at first we struggled. I think there were even some people that questioned why we even fooled with trying to get a car going when, some people say, well, why don't you just go down the road and just get a Maxim or something that is going to work or whatever. But Mark and I just knew what we wanted in a race car, and we kept digging at it till we got something that works, and he did. He put a lot of time and effort and money into getting a non-wing car that could win, and now we are doing it. I mean, shoot, it's not just us. Darren Clayton won at Hobstadt and had a shot at winning Kokomo last Sunday, so the cars are there, and just people like that just seem to stick with you whether you're behind the 8-ball or not. Now I have Gene Nolan supporting me. He's been around USAC for years, and I'm just really blessed to have him, just because he came along when I was struggling really bad, and he didn't know me from Adam. The first time I ever met the guy was when I had a meeting with him about some shop space and needing a trailer to use, and he more or less just gave a guy a chance that he didn't even know, a lot of small people too. I mean, Mark Downey is a guy that is on my race car. He doesn't have a business or anything like that. He's just a fan of mine. It has been for a long time, and he was actually the first guy that said, "Hey, I don't want to see you quit. I want to see you keep doing this." And he, in a very small way, kind of gave me a little bit of that push to help me buy that first race car to start putting together in my garage. That just kind of snowballed the whole thing. So, I could go through story after story like that of people that have stepped up to help me, and it's pretty crazy. Even for me to sit and talk about it, it kind of hits home with me too. You kind of forget about how far we've come in such a short amount of time and all the people that are a part of it.
Well, Hunter, I know, that win down there at McCool Junction was a huge shot in the arm, and I think it's just what you needed to push you in the right direction, get you back on track, get you back up there front, up in the winner's circle. It's we got a few weeks off here before we run the USAC sprint cars again, and we always look forward to seeing you out there. And where are some websites where people can kind of keep up with you while they're not out there on the road with you?
Well, we're actually right now we're working on launching a remake of my website, 100%.com. I actually was working on it a little bit today with Brent Beauchamp. He's actually building the website for me, and should be done here in another week or so. But you can also catch up with me on Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter handle is 100%. My Facebook, of course, is you can look me up on there. I haven't always been the best about updating it and doing the social media thing. I'm not near as computer savvy as some of the other drivers out there, but I'm getting better at it. So, if there's fans listening that try to keep up with me on there that, don't always get an answer or something like that, I apologize, and I am trying to get better at it. I've never been good at computers for some reason, but something that I'm trying to get in the habit of, but it's a very slow process. So hopefully with time I'll get it all figured out. I've got the Twitter thing figured out pretty good because it's very easy. Sometimes though, when I'm trying to update my own Facebook and everything, I get so frustrated I click off of it and I'm like, all right, I'll do this later. But no, it's something that I'm working on. But we definitely should have the new website 100%.com done. Like I said, within a week or so. Brent's been working really hard on it, and that should be linked to my Facebook and Twitter. You should be able to go on there and see all of that stuff.
Well, make sure you go check that out. Make sure you stop by, talk to Hunter, pick up a T-shirt. Hunter, it's fun having you on, buddy. We can't wait to see you at Terre Haute coming up.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, everybody, that was Hunter Schuerenberg, 100%, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, racers, you know the amount of time and effort you put in at the shop getting your bullet ready to do battle is huge. Shouldn't the way you look when you climb out of that sick-looking ride in victory lane be just as important? Well, hell yeah, it should. Turn Noah's Shell Shock Custom Helmet Painting loose on a custom lid designed just for you. Join the Shell Shock list of racers like Ryan Briscoe, Joey Saldana, Christopher Bell, Matt Crafton, Bud Kading, Dominic Selzy, Kenny Rutz, Spud Allen, Joey Coulter, and many, many more. Go to www.shellshockpaint.com or give them a call at 704-929-8545 and join the Shell Shock list of champions today. Follow Shell Shock on Twitter at Shell Shock Co. and be sure to check out the full Shell Shock gallery on Facebook at Shell Shock. And remember, only the best wear the SS. Hey racers, are you looking for an edge in your training program to put you over the top? Well, check out Racer's Edge Supplements. Racer's Edge Supplements are the best racing supplements in the business. Whether you need more energy to get you through your day, better concentration, or a weight loss supplement that will help you get lighter and go faster, Racer's Edge Supplements is what you need. With 9 products currently available and more on the way, Racer's Edge Supplements will be all you need to get you through your season. Visit us online at racersedgesupplements.com. That's racersedgesupplements.com. Racer's Edge Supplements, the edge you need to get you to victory lane.
And now, back to the guys that think alcohol abuse has something to do with spilling race fuel. It's Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Hey, here we are back on USAC Unleashed Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network. Photo Man, I just want to say publicly, wow, you are doing so freaking awesome with these interviews and the technical aspect of it, man. I don't think I'm going to have to show up anymore.
Don't even go there.
I think we're all right, man. At any rate, man, that was an awesome interview with Hunter. I really enjoyed that, man.
Hunter was such a good, was one of the good stories that came out of the weekend. He's such a good kid and worked really hard for that win, and was really happy to see him pick it up.
That's pretty cool, man. You don't ever hear him talk that much, man. I really enjoyed that interview, and I know I'm going overboard with it, but I really enjoyed that interview with him. I still need to ask him though about this 100% thing, man. I need to know the answer to that and how that come about. But at any rate, man, we have another special guest on with us this week, and we're doing this with some other radio show hosts at the Performance Motorsports Network and Scorpion Radio Group, our airtime home, and we had Krista Elise on with us last week from the Hills on Wheels radio show and some of the other things we've done. But we have her partner in crime who actually started that show, Mr. I called you Mr. Taylor. Going to kick my ass now, aren't you? We got Taylor on with us. Taylor, I'm even forgetting your last name, man. Tell us about yourself, girl.
I don't know that I want to now.
I know, right? I don't get to come on
once.
your show anymore and wear the pink tutus, do I?
No, I'm speechless for once in my life. I don't even know what to say. All right. Anyway.
All right. School me.
Well, Taylor Hyatt, by the way. I didn't start Heels on Wheels, but I am the executive producer now, and I really couldn't be happier. I love my job. I love meeting all of these fantastic women in the motorsports world. I just couldn't be happier with it, really.
Well, tell us a little bit. I guess let's back up for a minute, Taylor Hyatt, and tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started in all this and things like that?
Oh my, that could be a long story. I was born into it. My parents are both EMTs. They worked at the racetrack way before I was born. That's where they met. My grandfather raced. My dad still races to this day in rallycross. My uncle races. I mean, I was really born into it, but I've been around it. I've done timing and scoring at the local road course. Now I do emergency services, kind of following in my parents' footsteps there, and go get dirty and play in traffic once in a while.
There you go. We're going to get you even dirtier, man. You're getting your Dirt 101
I love it.
lessons here.
I love it. I've learned a lot.
You're going to be hanging out with us when we come out for Eastern Storm 2, along with Krista, correct?
Exactly. You guys are going to be in my neck of the woods, and I'm really excited. I think that first week of June, I think that Wednesday, I'll be out in New Oxford to see you guys and come hang out.
I got one question that I really want you to answer, Taylor, and you touched upon it, and you come from a racing background and a racing family, and now you're doing the radio media thing, and I know that's something that I struggle with, being a racer and then going in and trying to do things like this. Tell us about some of the struggles and some of the heartaches and things that you've been struggling and battling with trying to make that transition.
I always thought when I was, in grade school and high school and stuff that I had this stage fright, and I'm coming to realize that I can get behind this mic and talk my little heart out. And I mean, I love meeting new people. So I really haven't had that hard of a time with it. It's just trying to keep up with my full-time job. I'm still going to college for business and marketing. And also, I have all my racing events that I go to down in Summit Point, West Virginia. So really just trying to keep everything together and stay organized is the only hard part about this job.
Where do you see yourself going in the future with it? Do you see yourself, are you going to keep going down this media path or is there something else later on down the road for you?
I would love to keep doing this. I've I've been lucky enough to kind of be thrown into this position, but I never even saw this in my future until I got here, and now I can't see my future without it. So I want to keep doing this long term, possibly go bigger, and I want to get into a race car. I come from a family of racers, and I'm ready. I have that adrenaline need.
Now, Taylor, for all the people out there that, maybe not know, what's the background behind Heels on Wheels? I mean, obviously we're USAC Unleashed. We talk a lot of sprint cars, midgets, Silver Crown cars, but what is Heels on Wheels?
Well, we're finally starting to see so many women coming into the industry, and the goal of Heels on Wheels is to hear their stories, have a place for them to go, to let that out, to help them get sponsors, to get the word out about them, and really just show all these guys that women have a place in the racing industry too. It's not just a male-dominated sport anymore. I mean, you're seeing Danica Patrick, you're seeing Brittany and Courtney Force, Erica Enders, everybody coming into the racing industry, and they're making a scene. So, boys, move over. We're coming in.
And we're even seeing that in our dirt ranks and in our midget ranks and stuff like that. We got some women coming along, Taylor Ferns, and then we got, lots of girls in the micro leagues and stuff like that. And, what's the goal? Is that to kind of promote them? And, where do you see, that the show going?
Yeah, we've had a ton of the dirt racing girls on the show, and we love them. They have so much energy, and they're just such die-hard racing fans and racers, and we love having the women on just because they are so into it, because we have to be to make our stance in the industry. So long term, we want to go big. This show can be so much bigger than what it is right now, and we just really, really want to get the word out and help these girls be all they can be.
What's the airtimes? Do you? I'm gonna throw you under the bus a little bit here, Taylor. You got the airtimes for the show there on the Performance Motorsports Network.com for
Yes.
Heels on Wheels.
Heels on Wheels airs Thursday at 7 p.m., Friday at 1 p.m. and 10 p.m., Saturday 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., and I think Sundays at 2 p.m. for right this moment until we start getting more into covering live races. So check that out. It's on the Performance Motorsports Network. You can also look at our YouTube channel, Heels on Wheels PMN. All of our shows are posted there, as well as the Facebook page, Heels on Wheels radio program, and our blog, heelsonwheelsradio.blogspot.com. We have some interviews from some of the girls that have a little bit of stage fright. They like to do the email interviews, and we post those there on the blog so you can read about them. Also, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. And you can find me on Facebook at Lovely Taylor Ann, or just my name, Taylor Hyatt, Hyatt on Facebook.
Now, you know what the deal is now. You know, you got to get me and the Photo Man on your show. Photo Man hasn't been on there to wear the pink tutu and the heels and the crown yet, so we got to get him on there.
I know, and we didn't get pictures of you, so you have to come on too and take the pictures this time.
There you go.
Lord.
We'll do that. We'll do that. I have no shame. All right, Taylor, thank you for being here. You know, and above all else, thank you for being in our pre-production shows and getting us fired up. You're here every week, man. It's always a blast to have you around.
I'm the life of the party. What can I say?
And there you go. I won't argue with that. There you go. Taylor Hyatt from Heels on Wheels radio show on the Performance Motorsports Network. Check it out. They always talk about some pretty controversial topics, and it's always a fun time to listen to her and Krista and the other girls go at it. And we will be back with some more USAC Unleashed radio on the Performance Motorsports Network right after these messages.
Hey racers, are you struggling with your shock package in your quarter midget, micro, midget, sprint, or super modified? Then check out Infinity Shock. Infinity Shocks has the latest available technology and is ahead of the market today with their Infinitune isolation piston. Give Infinity Shocks a call today at 765-865-1073 and tell AJ that you want to join racers like Shane Cottle, Frank Flood, Steven Shabester, Robert Ballou, Shane Cochran, and Thomas Mesrell in Victory Lane. Infinity Shocks, home of 300-plus A-Main wins in 2013, including 3 Golden Drillers from the Tulsa Shootout, the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial, and the Oklahoma Micro Nationals, just to name a few. For personalized tech service, give AJ a call at Infinity Shocks at 765-865-1073. Don't be like the competition, be the competition. Infinity Shocks.
Waka Racing Promotions is a public relations team determined to grow and expand your name in the world of racing while guiding your image and car to the top. We use multiple different techniques from press releases, social media pages, and websites to boom your team or company ahead of the rest. Whether it be your normal race team wanting a sponsorship proposal or a full-blown touring series needing PR help, Walker Racing Promotions can cover it all. Head to WalkerRacingPromotion.com to learn more on how you can expand your PR program with Walker Racing Promotions.
And now, back to the guys who spend more time at the hot dog stand than in the infield. Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
I don't know about hot dogs, but I'll take some of them dirt burgers, Photo Man.
I might have to remember that with all your time at the concessions and bring me something down.
No doubt, man. Jeff Brown caught me at the concession stand. But, you know, we've been pretty busy, and we're going to be over at the Tri-City Speedway for the Hut Hunter this Friday night. And not sure about Belleville yet, but we've got some cool stuff lined up for the month of May, Photo Man.
Yeah, it's starting to get into that busy time of the year. May's a busy month. We got the Hut 100 coming up over there at Tri-City Speedway, and then going over to Belleville Bash with the Power Eye guys. And then we get into the Silver Crown race at Indy for the Hall of Fame, where we induct all the USAC Hall of Fame members in. And, you know, then we get real busy with the Hoosier 100 and everything else.
Yep, and then don't forget, we got the Tony Holman Classic coming up at Terre Haute later on in this month, and then Eastern Storm kicks off. But there it is, another show in the can, man. It's been a good show, Photo Man.
Yeah, it was a good show, and you know, it was good to have Hunter on and give him some FaceTime for his good win out there at McCool Junction.
That it was, man. We've hit our groove again, Photo Man, but we'll talk about that later. Big shout out to our sponsors, 6B Apparel, Infinity Shocks, ShellShockPaint.com, RacersEdgeSupplements.com, Walker Racing Promotions. Thanks for everything you do, Brian. Really appreciate it. Finer Detail Graphics up there in Peru, Indiana. Of course, our own RichForemanPhotos.com. That's Photo Man's place. Best pictures that you'll ever see. Get over to that website, check it out. And, of course, we could not do it without our man Bob Steele turning the knobs at the Performance Motorsports Network and Scorpion Radio Group. Thank you for all the support from the fans, the racers. Without y'all, there would be no USAC Unleashed, and we really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed this new format on the show. We're going to keep you guys covered, man. We're going to cover you from north to south, east to west, local to national, and try to bring you the winners every week. So with that, here's another one in the can, episode number 13, and it's going to be our lucky number 13, Photo Man.
13 is lucky for me.
There you have it. And with that, we are out of here.
USAC Unleashed is a copyrighted production of PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com, a member of the Scorpion Radio Group, Inc., and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. Check out our Facebook page, USAC Unleashed Radio Show, or our section on the PMN website. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either PMN or Scorpion Radio Group, Inc. Be listening next week as we rev it up with USAC Unleashed, exclusively on the Performance Motorsports Network.